Hi, I'm Richard Redmond, host of The Play's the Thing. Remember the movie Casablanca? And in the end, when Rick and the captain walk off into the night, and Rick utters those memorable lines, "Louis, I think this is the beginning of a beautiful friendship." Whatever happened to Rick and the captain? There was never any follow-up. Then, there's a scene between Rick and Ilsa, who was married to Victor Laszlo, when Rick says to Ilsa, "Inside of us, we both know you belong with Victor. You're part of his work, the thing that keeps him going. If that plane leaves and you're not with him, you'll regret it. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but soon and for the rest of your life." Well, Ilsa decided to go with Laszlo. But whatever happened after, there was no follow-up either. Until now. The next play, titled "Play It Again, Sam," will answer that question. Here's looking at you, kid.
Sit down, Laszlo. You are making me nervous.
The plane was supposed to be here by now.
It will be all right. Rick said everything was arranged for.
Rick, always Rick. Tell me about this Rick fellow, Ilsa.
What do you mean?
What do you mean? What do I mean?
Well, yes, what do you mean?
This fellow Rick. When we first arrived, I saw you looking at him.
Well, of course I was looking at him. He was talking to me. Should I have shut my eyes or looked away? Oh, then you would have said, "Why did you look away when that Rick fellow was talking to you?" Would you not have said that?
Yes, you are right, Ilsa. I would have said that. But there is something else.
What? What? What is it? What are you accusing me of?
I don't know. Something indefinable. Something mysterious.
You are always going on about that something mysterious. What is it?
What did he mean? Here's looking at you, babe.
Oh, that. Well, that's just a silly American expression they all use. Here's looking at you. Gotcha. I get it. They just want you to know they're on the same page as them.
On the same page. What is these American expressions? Some sort of code language? Oh, on the same page as what? You're not hiding something from me, Ilsa, are you?
No. Oh, no, Laszlo, I could never do that. We are partners.
Then you must spill the beans, baby.
Spilled the beans. Whatever are you talking about?
Well, this too is an American expression. It means you must let me know everything. Nothing can be hidden between us.
Oh, Laszlo, you are right. I can't hide it, try as I may. You are a sensitive fellow, a freedom fighter. But it was a long time ago.
That was a long time ago.
Well, me and Rick. A long...
How long, Ilsa?
Before the war.
That was only 2 years ago.
An eternity when you're in love. Oh, but it is over. gone.
And you are still in love with him.
No. Oh, no, you mustn't say that. It is over. Gone.
I don't understand it. Oh, he has very bad skin. And such a surly fellow. I am much handsomer and a friendly sort of chap, wouldn't you say?
But it was not always so. He was a happy man. Always a smile and a good word for everyone. The war made him so. Oh, those happy times in Paris, when our hearts were young and gay. Play it again, Sam.
Sam? Sam? Who is Sam? Another one of your pre-war lovers?
Oh, don't be ridiculous. Sam would play our song at the bar we used to go to. You must remember that.
Oh, Ilsa, Ilsa, I love you tenderly, but I must say you have a most unpleasant singing voice.
Ah, well. It is over. Gone.
But we can be happy again. We can make a brave new world, safe for democracy. Isn't that what we're fighting for? You and me?
Why are you talking that way, Laszlo?
Like what?
Like your jaw hurts. Well, you're hardly opening your mouth.
Oh, this? Oh, this is a disguise. There are some Americans who talk this way from a place called Greenwich. Oh. Yes. Oh, and the Germans are looking for me, a European. I think it's very clever, don't you think?
Oh, very clever. Almost as clever as the time you tried to disguise yourself as an African. We barely escaped with our lives.
Well, you can't win them all. What is it, my darling? You seem not yourself, my dear.
What do you mean?
What do you mean, what do I mean?
What do you mean when you say I'm not myself?
Well,
who am I then?
You seem nervous, on edge. What is it, my darling?
Nothing. Nothing, just the tension of waiting.
Oh, calm yourself, my sweet. Oh, we can have a cigarette while we're waiting. Yes.
Oh, Laszlo. Oh, not that two-cigarette bit again. Well, you know how I hate that.
But it is so romantic.
Romantic? Huh. Garlic is romantic? Did you not have garlic in your shrimp scampi? You know I detest garlic, and so you would give me a garlic cigarette? That is romantic?
Oh. No, Lisa.
Ilsa!
Lisa, no, just don't work yourself up. Soon we will be on that plane.
No.
And we can...
No, I cannot go on.
But you must.
I can't.
Remember our mission.
Oh,
you must!
Oh, mission. I can't. It's over, Laszlo. Oh, those stupid disguises. And you don't even know my name. Lisa? Lisa? Who is this Lisa? And that two-cigarette thing you do. Oh, that's disgusting. Unsanitary. Oh, I can't take it anymore.
Why, Lisa?
Ilsa. Oh, it is better this way. You will thank me for this.
I will.
Oh, Rick, darling, we can be together again. I'm coming, Rick.
Isn't love grand? Now, if we can only find out what happened to Rick and the captain. Next, Another romantic story from the Hudson Valley area, The White Lady of Raven Rock, told by the master storyteller Jonathan Kruk, which will be followed by a short monologue titled Washington McNeely from Spoon River Anthology.
Hi all, I'm storyteller Jonathan Kruk, here with a legend found in the legend of Sleepy Hollow. It's not about the headless horseman, but rather it's a story that frightened Ichabod Crane when he heard it at Baltus Van Tassel's quilting frolic. It's called The White Lady of Raven Rock. Bump, 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 bump. After the Battle of White Plains, 2 British troopers stood knocking at a farmhouse door in Sleepy Hollow. Bump, bump, bump. Now the major, the elder of the 2, said, "Lieutenant, bother not with your knock, just walk in." "But sir, this is someone's abode. Are we to just walk in?" "Here, let me show you how it's done, man." The major lifted the latch and walked into this humble cottage. He looked round and about. There crackled a small fire in the hearth. "Is anyone about? Listen, by the powers granted to us by His Majesty, King George III, we, your protectors, do quarter ourselves in these premises. Now, come and show yourself and serve your protectors." Now there was a young woman hidden in the pantry, trembling at the thought of these 2 troopers in her house. Well then, she heard one of them say, "I know that there is someone about. The fire there crackles. Come or suffer the consequences." The young woman's name was Priscilla, I believe. She had heard about consequences from the redcoats. Sometimes it was said if you as so much as were to look at them the wrong way, they would order their Hessian henchmen, "Burn down that house! They're rebels!" And up your house would go in flames with only 15 minutes for you to clear it out. Priscilla didn't want anything like this to happen. So out from behind the flour barrel she comes, gives a proper curtsy, wrings her hands and says, "Sirs, forgive me. I was much afeard at your arrival." "Much afeard," says the major. "Pray thee tell why. You've nothing to fear from us. We're your protectors. Now the one you should fear, lass, is that rebel George Washington and his mob. Now here, come hither. Serve us. Remove our boots." He thrust a muddy, manure-coated boot right into the young woman's hands. She had to obey. She pulled the boots off. Now the lieutenant had watched all of this, and he saw the young woman had delicate hands, even for a farm girl. So out he went. "Lieutenant, pray thee, where are you going?" "Oh, to remove my own boots." "Come, let the wench do it." But his boots were already off. Now that was the first act of kindness between this British lieutenant and the American colonial young woman. Now, the commander of these British troops was a general by the name of Howe. How he liked to fight was like a chess game. See, he would move his troops and then sit back and wait and perhaps sip some wine and flirt with some of the officers' wives, and then wait for General Washington to make his moves, and then Howe would move his troops. Thus, the lieutenant and Priscilla had ample time to get to know one another. They oft were seen walking along the banks of Hudson's River, along the eastern shore of the Tappan Zee, talking about, well, how they might enjoy peace. The lieutenant often talked about the sugar plantation his family ran on the island of Jamaica, and Priscilla would swoon at the thought of being with him and not having to worry about these times that tried one's soul. Now, one day, the blacksmith, he comes into the tavern. Alewife, do you know what I just saw out there? 'Twas that Priscilla a-walking with that British lieutenant. Fie, no good's going to become of that. Now bring me some beer and put a bit of rum in it. Oh, you saw them walking? Do you know what I saw? I saw the two of them walking hand in hand, and then a kiss. Ach, a kiss. Wait till her brothers find out about this. The one that's fighting for Washington, the one that's fighting for the king, both of them will say, fie, no good will become of it. But what are we to do? I don't know. Well, something soon was done. There came to the farmhouse a messenger. Lieutenant Major, I have word from General Howe. You're to pursue Washington and his mob across Hudson's River. Please, in a day's time, report to Dobbs Ferry. Sirs. Well, Lieutenant, there we have it, our orders. You are to go now and bid farewell to your American wench. Ha! Give her a kiss for me, too. Ha 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 ha! Well, the lieutenant raced and cried, Priscilla, Priscilla, where are you? Well, she was attending to some chore. She dried off her hands. What's with you? Why are you in such a... What is it? What is it, my Luffy? Come with me at once. Where? Just come, I beseech you. Well, they left the village of Sleepy Hollow and went up above the mists to a lonely rock above Buttermilk Hill called Raven's Rock. And there the lieutenant got down on bended knee and said, Wilt thou marry me? For all my heart does is yearn for thee. And listen, I will leave this army. I am entitled to resign in 2 months' time, and if you will have me, Priscilla, I will come here for you. I brought you here so that you could spy me right away. I will be out in Hudson's River in the Tappan Zee in a ship with a white flag up the top. When you see that, will you come down to greet me at the dock? She says, oh, of course I shall. I'll make a wedding dress. I'll wait here in 2 months' time, you say? Well, as soon as I see the first flutter of your flag, I'll come down from Raven's Rock, and as soon as you land there at Tarrytown, I'll be in your arms. Oh, that'll be splendid. We can go to New York City and there be married. We'll leave this war-torn land. To Jamaica we'll sail to live on my sugar plantation. Their life will be sweet. And the two laughed and believed by their love they would be protected. But these were war-torn times. The lieutenant went down to Dobbs Ferry. Duty called. Priscilla began to sew her wedding dress with scraps of white that she would happen to find. The blacksmith said, He's not going to come for thee. The alewife said, And if he does, Priscilla, he'll bring you to New York City, steal a few kisses, then break your heart. Lass, let him go, let him go. She said, So little do you two know. My beloved is true. He'll come for me. He'll come for me. Well, 2 months came and went. And on that day, Priscilla went up to Raven Rock in her wedding dress. There she could spy the Tappan Zee. As she gazed out across, seeking her beloved, she found something coming for her. 'Twas the first storm of winter. Winds moaned and raced across the river, pushing in front of them icy fingers. Snow began to fall as Priscilla kept her vigil. But gazing out, she saw on the Hudson white caps foaming, and she thought in her love delirium, perhaps that could be the white flag of my beloved's ship. So to those foaming waves she called, "My beloved, is that you? Have you come for me?" But all that came for Priscilla were more wind and waves and storms. The snow began to gather up to her ankles, then to her knees. And now her voice grew hoarse, her lips blistered, her eyes were bloodshot, but still through that wintry night she called, "My beloved, is that you? Have you come for me?" But only more snow and moaning wind and icy-fingered snows came for Priscilla. Her skin grew gray with frostbite. Her knuckles were raw, but still she kept her vigil long into that blizzard. When at last morning came, this was a war-torn time. People had no time to wonder about some lovelorn lass. They had chores to do, cattle to feed, fires to start, a harvest to think about. But now, when spring came, people got an answer. Well, during the winter, the blacksmith said, "Oh, we haven't seen Priscilla. Maybe she did end up having her beloved come." "Well, maybe," said the alewife. "If he did come, no doubt he broke her heart. She's probably working in some tavern, serving flip to them redcoats. That's what we'll have to tell her brothers when they show up." Well, there showed up at Raven Rock a couple of huntsmen. They were out looking for rabbit when they happened upon something. "What's that there?" "Oh, I don't know. But I know but one thing. Looks like something for the Dominie to look into." Now the two ran down to the old Dutch church built by the Phillips family in the late 1600s. The Dominie, the reverend of the church, said, What is it?" when the huntsman called. "Bring your good book, Dominie. Come at once. There's something you must see. Come at once." Well, he gathered up his shawl and his Bible and went up with the huntsman to Raven Rock. When he clapped his eyes upon this sight, he said, I don't quite know who this is, but those hands, I believe once took off the boots of a British officer, though now the knuckles stick through the skin. And those cheeks, which now hang from the bone, once were flush with love. This is Priscilla. Oh, alas! "Well, what happened? What happened?" begged the hunters. "Oh, don't you see what happened? She came here months ago to look for her beloved, to await him at these rocks. But what came for her was a storm and death." "Well, come there, man. Don't just stand there. Let's bring her down and at least give her a burial. She's been resting here all the winter." And that very gown, which had once been the hoped-for bridal garb, became the funeral garb. They rolled her into it and carried her down. They laid her to rest in a grave. And yea, the body rested. But the spirit was moved by love. And that good book says love conquers even death. And so now it seems, by several reports over the years, Priscilla rises up by her love, a whitish glowing shape. She goes out before storms to seek her beloved, calling out. Her voice is now heard in amidst the moans of the winds, calling. If you come upon that voice, fear not. 'Tis just the lovelorn spirit known as the White Lady of Raven Rock. Thank you for listening to her tale. I'm your storyteller, Jonathan Kruk.
Rich, honored by my fellow citizens, the father of many children, born of noble mother, all raised there in the great mansion house at the edge of town. Note the cedar tree on the lawn? I sent all the boys to Ann Arbor and all the girls to Rockford, the while my life went on, getting more riches and honors, resting under my cedar tree at evening. The years went on. I sent the girls to Europe. I dowered them when married. I gave the boys money to start in business. They were strong children, promising as apples, before the bitten places show. But John fled the country in disgrace. Jenny died in childbirth. I sat under my cedar tree. Harry killed himself after a debauch. Susan was divorced. I sat under my cedar tree. Paul was invalided from overstudy. Mary became a recluse at home for love of a man. I sat under my cedar tree. All were gone, or broken-winged, or devoured by life. I sat under my cedar tree. My mate, the mother of them, was taken. I sat under my cedar tree. Till 90 years, we're told. Home, eternal earth, that rocks the fallen leaf to sleep.